Hello everyone and welcome to the Fertile Crescent Steam Next Fest stream. I'm your host PixelsForBreakfast. I forgot my own name, former game journalist, current game developer in Tokyo, Japan. But the real heroes of the day are our friendly game developers over at Wheeled Interactive. We've got Anders and André on the line, who are the creators of this amazing game. Why don't you guys say hello?
Hello. I'm Anders.
And I'm André.
Awesome. All right, so before we start with the game, I do want to say I don't really play RTS games, so this could go hilariously wrong. And we have Anders on standby to pass second in my machine when I inadvertently fail. I'm
ready.
Why don't you guys give everyone watching this amazing stream a little bit of a rundown of the game before we click into Horde Mode?
Yeah, so the Fertile Crescent is a real-time strategy game. It's a 2D pixel game, and it's a game that we have been developing for around 5 years now.
Yeah, an incredibly long time, and it started out as a release on itch, and you guys have been building it out ever since, which is really awesome to see.
Yeah, so we've had a version up on itch for like 3 years now, I think. Just it started as a hobby project, weekends and night times after day jobs, and then it turned into a full-time job for us at the moment to get to the release.
Yeah, that's really awesome, and that's always the start of a good project. When it becomes a full-time job, it's always a bit of a dream. So we're gonna jump into this Horde mode here, which I'm gonna read the description. Settle a village on the plains of Mesopotamia and survive the invasions of the mountain nomad tribes who repeatedly come down from the Zagros mountains to pillage. Sounds like a fun time. So Anders, I want to ask you about the music in this main menu, mate. Like, how long were you working on that particular piece? Because it really does stand out.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I did work pretty hard on that one. It did. I don't know. I'm really poor at like gauging how long things take, but it was a lot of back and forth with Andre and like finding something that sounds cool.
That's always important. Is that it sounds cool?
Yeah, we've got a bit of a weird like music style in the game that we've landed on, where like it's kind of based off of like old school like old synthesis sounds and aesthetics, and then also being inspired by Middle Eastern music. So that's been like a weird thing that I don't think anyone has done before, as far as I know. But hopefully people like it when
It
when they play the game.
definitely has a very unique sound. Okay, so I'm killing the wildlife around me. I've built my village center. So what's my next step here? What should I be looking to build?
So firstly, you probably should build a house pretty soon because you will hit your population limit. And you should also anywhere. So before we even that's good. You notice how we're gonna go through a bunch of stuff really quickly now.
Yep.
You see how the ground has different colors.
Yeah.
So that's our fertility mechanic, which means that you want to save all the green patches and the green-blue patches for farms later on. You probably now want to build a clay pit. And a clay pit, that's the one with the ladder and the shovel. That goes in any of the blue areas. So those are the marshes that where you dig out the clay. And next step for you is to get food. So right now you have a bunch of these. You can see that, like that one. Those are pomegranate trees, which were indigenous or are still indigenous to the region the game is set in. And so you want to get as many people on that as possible.
Gotcha. So yeah.
You can also hunt for that as well.
You can what? Sorry, hunt for that.
You can hunt for food as well as you're doing.
So Andre, do you want to talk a little bit about some of this historical accuracy? Like Anders was just saying, pomegranates are native to the area that you set the game. Like, how much research did you do into that sort of historical setting?
Yeah, so I've only been like semi-interested in history, but especially kind of early Right, yeah, Bronze Age, which the game is in. I've already always found that power history really interesting. It's kind of like a sort of a golden age. Civilizations could grow. I think the biggest city, Babylon, had like 100,000 people. But it's also a part of history we don't actually know so much about. Like, for example, one of the great civilizations back then, 300 years ago, no one knew about them because they were all the artifacts were under the ground, and then the archaeologists discovered them. So there's some we know, and then there's a lot we don't know. But it's I don't know. I'm very fascinated because it happened so long ago. But there seemed to be so much that happened back then, like international trading and a lot of really cool stuff. So yeah, I had this interest for that part of history, and I've always I don't know, since I was 13 or something, I've always kind of had this idea that maybe one day I can try to make an RTS game. So I kind of just merged those two interests into this game.
That's awesome. So Anders, I've just opened up the tech tree. Do you want to maybe give me some ideas here of what I should be going through?
Yeah. So the bottom ones are all unit upgrades, right? So that will be to improve your slingers or axemen, or later on your javelin throwers and your archers and that. But for now, you probably want to work on your economy to make sure you've got enough food, which you are. You can see that in the upper right that you've got the green bar there.
Yep.
The more food surplus you have, the faster you generate villagers and knowledge points. So you can pick. You can go back to the tech tree if you want by hitting that one or hitting space. And I don't know, Andre. What do you think you should focus on? I don't know what the best course is here.
So either of the top left ones are economic upgrades. So one of them boosts the woodcutting, one boosts farming, and one boosts clay digging. So maybe to go safe, you can do the farm. The plow, which is the second to the left, because food is very important in this game. It's the main resource to keep your tabs on, because if you run out of food, you might lose the game.
Yeah, full disclosure, every time I've played this game in testing, I have died from starvation, so I need that tip.
Yeah, full focus on the food production.
Yeah.
So that's actually part of the historical setting. So back then they didn't really have coins, like a money system like we have today. So food was often stocked and used as some kind of trading, like in a barter economy kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
So the interesting thing then is it's a resource that always is consumed because people have to eat, but you can also use it to raise armies and stuff. And also another thing we did, which also is a bit inspired by history, is that if we have the different food surplus levels top left. So if you have a higher food surplus, you actually generate villagers faster, so your population grows faster. But also you get knowledge faster, because what happened when these early civilizations started really exploiting like agricultural, they suddenly had more time to do other things than just hunt and forage for food. So we kind of represent that by, okay, if you have stocked up a lot of food, your people have more time to just tinker and craft or whatever, and that leads to increased knowledge overall.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's super cool that you like have worked that into your systems for this game, because I think that this genre, one of the big things that it kind of feels like a lot of these systems can be quite abstract in some of the very few RTS games I've played, and just hearing that you have thought about this with rooted in real historic incidents is really cool to hear.
I think a good thing for you to do now is to build either an archery range or a barracks. to start, because you will have a wave incoming in a minute and a half now.
Oh god, yeah. Okay, let's get some sword folks happening.
Yeah, we'll start you off with. So the more villagers you put on the building, the faster they will be.
Okay.
So you got the ones with the question marks over their head. They're not doing. They're just
anything.
loitering.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So you can get them. At the bottom right, there's a minimap there, and in the top right of that bottom right section, you can you see there's a question mark there. That one, click that
yep.
one, and then
Gotcha.
it'll select all the idle villagers.
Mm-hmm.
So now these ones you probably want to send back to doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can click on the barracks to start generating axemen.
Okay. Let's.
And at the same time, you can also head into your tech tree and maybe give those axemen a little bit of an upgrade.
Boost. Okay. So
Yeah.
what are we? Elite light axeman. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can get a little something else. What are we dealing?
Yeah,
here?
you can get another thing too. Probably.
Mining, maybe. Or.
Yeah, that depends. So that's a bit of a late game thing, because you will be mining copper ore to.
Yeah.
Or not copper ore, but iron ore to. No, hang on. Is it copper, André? Sorry, that's me not knowing. Doesn't matter. You'll be mining some ore at some point to upgrade your equipment. But for now, you can look at either wood cutting or clay digging.
Yeah, let's go with wood cutting. I think that's important. So I just noticed there that when you go into the tech tree, it pauses the game. I'm guessing that doesn't happen in the multiplayer version, right?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, thought so.
Let's see. It's gonna do a thing on my end here.
Are you gonna take control?
No, I'm not gonna take control. You're doing great.
It's because I got the captain coach over here talking me through it.
Let's see. So you should start generating axemen soon, and also you should build some houses. And you're out of time.
Okay, so I need houses to house the axemen. Is that the situation?
Yes, you do need houses for everyone.
Okay.
So that's the challenge that you've got now.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. So you just told me how good I was doing, and I wasn't doing good. Oh no.
Well, I take responsibility for this. So here they come. Just double-click any of the villagers.
Yeah.
And it'll select all of them in the vicinity, and they will attack. If you hit spacebar, it'll pause the game, and then do the militia upgrade as well.
Yeah.
That'll boost all the villagers within a certain range of your town center.
Get over there. Get over there. Come on.
Get some more. The clay pit people are just hanging
they're
around.
just hanging out. Come on.
There you go.
All right. I'm totally armchair. This is great.
Yeah, no, you're. This is perfect. And with that militia upgrade, so you got an axeman in there too.
Yep. You got another one heading over there.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's too late to the party, but it's all good.
So the cool thing now is you can select all the villagers. You can hit in the bottom. You can see the tree there. That'll just return them to whatever task they were doing before.
The tree?
Yeah. So you see that little pine tree there? At the bottom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one.
Right. Sorry, I was looking at the minimap.
If they had a.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry. If they had a task before, if you hit that tree, they'll return to where they were.
That's awesome. That's really cool, actually.
And maybe the idle villagers bottom left, there's 3 guys just standing around. If you try to click that button with those.
Okay, yeah. Yep, nice, nice.
There they go.
Okay,
so now it's probably a good time for you to build some more farms, actually to get some berries, because you're about to starve.
Yep, I saw that. I send my people to the farm. Let's go
get
some berries over here. Whew. All right, dude. We have a lot of people hanging out in chat. Does anyone have any questions for the developers as I fumble my way through this?
Let's see, nothing. Well, while we wait for the questions in the chat, I do have a list of questions already from the Discord community that we have as well. That you can go find us. If you click the link further down the page, there you'll find us there. There's a little link to a very pleasant and nice Discord community. And we did ask for some questions there. And Andre, one question. Will there be different playable tribes? We were asked.
Yes, so how this will play out, we can't reveal so much about at this point. We're still experimenting with some cool ideas, but there will be other tribes or civilizations. The one you're watching right now is the old age Babylonians. So often when you see the Babylonians, the ones that are depicted are often ones that were from the Iron Age, which is around 500 BC. But we've tried to depict the Babylonians from before the Bronze Age ended, and there's not actually that much archaeological materials from the Babylonians then. But it was, they think it was the largest city in the world in the Bronze Ages, around 1750 BC. We're trying to depict the Babylonians from the reign of Hammurabi, which was the ruler in 1750 BC, around then. Actually, the Babylonians were famous, and he was famous because he conducted the law of Hammurabi, which was one of the first written laws for pretty extensive and detailed, what happens if you kill someone or steal or whatever.
That's
So
cool. I didn't know that.
With the history being as you said, so long ago, records, not really existing. Is that actually a little bit of a good thing for you being able to fill in some of those gaps? Is that exciting for you? How far are you going in that sort of angle?
Yes, it is very exciting. I don't know if you can see it, but for example, the axis that the light axemen are wielding is kind of like a sickle axe. So we've looked at reference materials and tried to depict it somewhat what it might have been back then.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how they're just throwing the rocks.
Here.
Yeah, I know.
And the nomads are inspired by people who came, as it said in the description, they come from down from Zagros Mountains, which is in today's east of Iraq and Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Fertile Crescent, there's actually not that many barriers. You'll see that there's no cliffs or anything on this map. There were rivers and plains, so they didn't have a lot of natural defenses. So that's why they had to build giant fortifications, like very tall walls and watchtowers, etc., to protect themselves from the nomad tribes who would come down from the mountains routinely through the ages and pillage.
Gotcha. Right.
All right. It's pretty hectic times to be around.
Yeah, so it's kind of what happened back then, wasn't it? They had to non-stop protect themselves from these nomads, and I'm sure they would never know when they came. They just came down and pillaged.
Yeah. In preparing for your next wave of pillagers, Steve, you could be building some more farms, and also
farms?
some more houses. Yeah,
Okay,
farms are
okay,
good.
okay.
They're a good source of food because they're close to your village center. So anywhere that's nice and green.
Yeah. So the issue anywhere that's green, right? Not just blue. Gotcha.
Yeah, you'll see when you place the farm, you'll see the little icon there indicating as well how valuable it is as farmland.
Can I just say, for anyone watching this who's like, I should just stream an RTS game randomly and learn it on the fly, it's pretty hard. Just put it Not this one, though. This one's very easy and intuitive. No, I'm actually, really surprised about, graphically, and then also just the way that the interface works out. It feels very pared back, but not stripped down, if that makes sense. It does feel like it's quite accessible for people like me who maybe haven't played a lot of these games or maybe haven't played one in a very long time. Did you guys do that consciously, or is that just the sort of game that you wanted to make?
So there's two things or two answers, I guess. One is we're a very small team, so we be very hard for us to do very fancy 3D graphics and stuff. But the other part is before making this game for at least like around a decade, I was kind of reading discussions on the internet forums and reading articles and seeing what people like about RTS games, because I had this vision that maybe one day I would make one myself, and was thinking what would that look. And I remember when I was a young teenager, and my friends would play Age of Empires 2 and some other RTS games. So almost all my friends had played some kind of RTS. But after Age of Empires 2, they all stopped, and I was trying to figure out why. And some of it, like the versions I've been given, is when RTS games went 3D. A lot of people thought it was because there's so much going on in an RTS game. They thought it was too much for the brain to process. Too many units, effects, and details. So we're kind of trying to make it a bit accessible, also by stripping it down a bit, so that maybe it's a bit more clear what happens on the screen for newcomers. Of course, if you're a hardcore RTS game, like any game, you would get into and understand what happens. But for newcomers, maybe we hope it might be a bit more accessible. And
I think also a big part of it's the iterations we've been doing is about like user friendly, like making it easy to play the game and eliminating friction in how you interact with it. So there's still a fair bit of that left, right? But like the whole tree thing where you send your villagers back to what they were doing before they had to step up and fight was a big part of that was a big point of iteration for us. And also now with our for those who have followed the game for a while, this is our new UI, and that hopefully helps in communicating what needs to happen and where things are, and makes things easy to read.
It's very easy to read. You are starving.
Yes, you are. So I think build like another 3 or 4 farms.
Yeah, right.
You've got 1,000 something wood, so you don't need to chop any wood for a while. So and farms cost wood. At some point here, when you get on top of your food supply, we'll try to get you to make it to 200, and then we'll build a palace.
Gotcha.
And
I love the faith you're putting in me here.
Oh, you got this. You got this. Once you build the palace, it'll unlock new units and stuff like that, which is very useful. We could also consider building an archery range here. Like, keep going with the farms. Just farm your heart out. And then once we get there, we'll build an archery range, and then we can start building some archers, and maybe even some towers. And so the reason why you couldn't place that farm is that someone didn't finish that tree there.
Yeah, I figured that was what was going on.
So you could send someone to do that as well if you want to clean up the grid. So that was another big iteration we did, was the grid for where to place the farm, so you can kind of optimize your farmland. And while you're at it, like build a couple more houses, because you're going to be needing more units soon. And then maybe send a couple more people to the clay pit, and I think you'll be looking pretty good.
Be in a better place.
Yeah.
Until the next wave comes.
Yeah, in 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Also, you could take your time now to create some new axemen too, because you're looking a bit light on the defensive. Yeah, there you go. And you figure that out. You can when you select the building, you can right click to place a marker for them to go to, which is also super useful. Another cool thing. Oh, here we go. Another cool thing. Whoa. Just double click on any of the farmers, and they will. You'll select all of them, and then you can attack.
All right, let's go.
Whenever-
Party time.
Whenever you do like a box select, it'll only select the army units, the military
Right.
units. You can turn that off in the settings actually,
Gotcha.
if that is.
No,
is
don't
annoying.
farm. Don't farm. Attack, please. Oh god. No.
It can get pretty tense.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten already, Andre. But are there there's boss waves in beginner as well, right?
Yeah, the next one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So you
no.
got 2.5 minutes. Let's build an archery range,
Okay. Build.
and then get your farmers on top. Yep, do that.
Yeah.
Feel free to give better advice than I am, Andre. You're a better strategy player than I am.
Oh no, there's like two different ways.
Maybe you could build a granary closer to the farms on the top left, then they have less distance to walk. That will increase the efficiency.
Like there.
Closer to the farms.
Oh, on the top right, I guess. Like
Yeah,
that?
that's
Yeah.
a good place.
And then build more farms. I think.
Yes.
'Cause you can.
Just
You're
you have
gonna need
lots
the
of villagers with question mark. Just you can ask all of them to build farms, and then you'll have quite a bit of food to make units because you have lots of wood.
If you start building farms and hold shift, you can then shift and place it, and you'll get a bunch of them. And then they will automatically sort out their farm.
Gotcha. So you guys know all the pro strats. I'm over here just like struggle town.
Well, you'd hope we knew some strats at least. So yeah, getting your that's good. Keep building farms, man.
Okay. Build T for farm. Okay,
Yes.
Let's go.
Sorry, yeah, we could have told you that. Sorry about that.
That's all right. See, I think this is an interesting stream for the fact that people get to see what they're going to see when they first start. And, like, accidentally clicking all of the villagers to go build is not what you want to do.
So you can box select a bunch of villagers and just send them, just go click on one farm and they'll, like...
They'll
kinda-
all find a farm
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want more farms? Do I need more farms?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Sure.
Yeah, it is Thursday after all.
Okay.
Here you go.
Go build, please.
And then, so you're not producing any ranged or any military units at all now because you don't have the food to support. But you do have some upgrades ready in your tech tree. So maybe go slingers, I reckon. And then you can save the rest for when we make it past the palace.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it that far, but yes, we can say.
Hey, I have faith.
All right.
Cool. And so this is what I would usually do in this situation too. Is I would build a resource camp. That's the I forget what the icon looks like. I think it's like an axe in a tree or something. And then I would build that at the north of the farms. It's the wood piece of wood and the pile there. Yeah, build that up there and where somewhere down there. Yeah, and you can that'll make it faster to drop the trees around. You can clear more farmland. But yeah, you're doing great. Fending off this nomad horde.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
This is a boss battle.
Yeah.
There were two groups coming.
Look, everyone thinks
different
Elden
angles.
Ring's going to be the hardest game of the year, but come on. It's right here, folks. The real boss fight.
We're still working on music for this bit too, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of experimenting a little bit. I don't
Look,
know
I'm
if we'll
just-
end up.
I'm just going to come out and say it, though. Like, I think the music that you have here already is really it's super unique. Like, I think you've done a really good job. It really sells the aesthetic and the setting. So, yeah. Props to that, for sure.
Thanks, Matt. I haven't talked to Andre about this yet, and we'll have a discussion about it. But the boss music I have been working on is a drum and bass track,
Oh, really?
But I'm not sure.
Bring it into the
I'm not
mud
sure it's a
cage.
good idea.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.
You heard it here first. It's Steam Next Fest.
Yeah, we haven't discussed it, so it might not. There's a chance it might not make it into the game, and it's because it's a bit of a
Departure.
yes, very much so.
We're still working on the game, everybody. It's nothing is set in stone yet.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our pro players here so Nono is in the chat. He's a very good player, and he's been playing the game for a long time. His advice to stay on top of the food econ is to keep hunting.
Keep hunting.
So you can send villagers to hunt as well, and they will drop it off at the resource camp too. You don't have to just drop it off at the granary. So that's a good way to get some extra food, and it's pretty fast.
So to just tell them to hunt, I just like select one of the things and they'll just roam. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So at the bottom of the screen there, if you scroll down a little bit, there's 2 units there not doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And so you could send them to hunt for the antelopes.
Gotcha.
And they will get that. And if you want it to be really fast, you would build a resource center, resource camp close to it, and they'll drop the food off there, and it'll go straight into your.
Gotcha.
Your
so I can just go build resource camp like down here.
Yeah. That's much closer than the village center, right?
It's starting the cogs are turning.
Yeah.
Your food economy is definitely getting better. Now you have a little bit of food surplus. It's you almost can afford a palace actually when it gets to 200.
All right. Let's.
I think that's that should be the next step.
Okay, so how are we going for housing? We're good on housing.
You're good on how? Yeah, you keep losing units when the hordes arrive.
Yeah.
So you're good there. Yep,
Build
that's
another
good.
Farm there.
So I definitely.
I think you can afford a palace now.
Yeah, you're good. So the
Bottom right.
that one.
Mate,
I remember when André designed the first iteration of that sprite, we were very excited about it because we had nothing that was like kind of that big and cool in the game yet. Yeah, that was really cool.
So you kind of alluded that you guys are a small team. Like, is like all of this game just by you two? Have you collaborated with other people? Like, how does that work for you guys?
Also, we get help from our publisher. So the artwork, I made the art for the itch version, but I'm not an artist at all. So it's really great. We got help from an artist who's really good. So he actually has redone pretty much every single asset in the game from the itch version.
Yeah, that's been really good. They've been
to be
very
fair,
nice.
though, the itch version did look very nice.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
I think if you go back and look at it now, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, definitely, the way that the game looks now, we owe that to Mushroom at the publisher, which they very, very kindly lent to us. They've been very nice and helping us out, making the game they're doing what they said they were going to do. They're going to help make the game as good as it can be, right? And
yeah,
they really have done that, and given us a chance to like really, get a point where it's a product that you want to get at some point. Something that's a bit more appealing than just the very basic, or in comparison, basic itch version. Because that itch
also, I
version
just want to mention, because you're using your villagers to defeat the nomads, and that's a deliberate decision made to make the villagers a little bit stronger than they typically are in RTS games. So they are the last line of defense. We're imagining that these are hardened farmers working all day, and they're doing their best to defend their village. But when you get to a bit more stronger units who have bronze armor and stuff, they're not as good anymore.
I gotcha. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But because back then you didn't really have professional armies. The first kind of like modern professional army wasn't even invented until after Bronze Ages. So they often use the population as conscript. So a lot of the male population will have some training and be sent on, conquest campaigns. So they what happened is when it was time to harvest the farming, there was no wars because every nation needed their people to harvest. But then in between, when there was no harvesting to be done, that's when they went to war, and they just used their population often.
Right.
We're not gonna put in a season mechanic in the game.
No.
Unless, yeah, no, well, that's not on the in
we
the
got
cards
some
just yet.
warthogs hanging out down here too. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, you're doing good, man. Like this is shaping up. Probably you could. Well, you've only got a couple of seconds left,
Yeah,
so
I'm
yeah.
trying to build some.
and it's a
units.
boss wave.
Yeah, I know. It's over now, folks. I know I've said that every wave, so it's over for sure.
Yeah, no, you got this. Let's see, you got a bunch of research points or tech points, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Go.
can upgrade some of your elite units.
Okay.
Yeah, so get your archers and which ones you went with this
I built some spearmen.
the
I think.
spearmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for that.
Let's go.
And yeah, do that. Let's get them as pumped up as you can, and just keep cranking them out. Here they come.
Yeah, so just to mention the units, when you upgrade them, they have this kind of rolls, but when you upgrade them, it improves their rolls. So for example, the archer will get extra range, and the spearman will get extra protection from range units. So they're really good against archers. They are already good without the upgrade, but they become even better against range units with the upgrade. Yeah, this is this the last wave?
It is.
It's 8 out of 8. Well, I think the final one says final.
Oh, okay.
so they were-
alright.
Oh, yeah. Also, the next one will be the last boss battle.
So, you got this.
No, I don't, but that's okay. I've made it way further than I thought I would, so I'm very proud of myself right now.
Yeah, this might be the end.
Yeah.
We'll see how your villagers hold up.
Well, oh yeah, you do have there's a fair few here.
Yeah.
So the buff on the villagers, you see they have those little sword
Shield icons.
shields or
Yeah.
yeah. So that only works in proximity to their town center or the palace.
Okay, so you can't send them on the
and
other
so
side of the map, basically.
Yeah, you see how they like group now, like they kind of lost
yep.
their things. So you want to try to like lure the enemy units into like that. Yeah,
The sweet spot.
but that guy's a distance one, so he
Yeah, look, I've played
care.
Diablo before. I know a thing or two about kiting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You can actually, you have quite a bit of food, so you could, while defending, you could just train some more units as well.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to get some
We can
more.
see now the villagers, they can still deal with a few of these units, but these nomads have a little bit of armor and a bit more hit points, so the villagers are a little bit less efficient.
Oh, he got one of your farms too.
I need that farm.
Yeah. Well, you've got more farms than villagers by now, I think, so it might be okay. Yeah, get those.
So you can see your spearman is really good against
Yeah,
those slingers.
so good.
They can't do much to it.
Yeah, they
There's
kinda
quite a
dish it
bit of
out there
distance
the
on
right.
these good archers too.
Yeah. They're not messing around.
So we talked a little bit about, the art style and RTS being, that transition into 3D and people missing some of that, simplicity and the complexity. How much did you play some of those classics when making this game, or was it more just, I really just miss RTS and that's how it started?
Yeah, so one part is, like, I've always loved RTS games, so I've always been like thinking, would it be possible for me to make one? But as I said in the beginning, I did a lot of research about what people like and don't like, and so this game is kind of like just taking kind of all the best ideas that I have and from other games as well, and just put it in one package. But at the same time, keep it simple enough, because it's still a pretty fast-paced game, so we don't want to complicate it too much. And also try to remove a little bit of the busy work. There are some differences. For example, as you might have seen, the villager just suddenly popped out of the village center. So they train automatically. So just to give an example on something we've done to streamline the game is in most RTS games you train villagers and you spend food, but you always want to train villagers, because the more villagers you have, the more resources you can get, and then you can just continue making villagers all the game, and you keep going back to your main building and keep having to remember to train villagers. But it's not a meaningful choice. You always have to do it, no matter what. So it's like it's almost like a muscle memory. You just do it every game.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, if they don't have to do that all the time, then they can put their attention elsewhere. So like that's one example on many little tweaks here and there that we've tried to make.
Oh, I think I'm cactus here, guys. It's all over.
Oh yeah, it's not looking good. They got like the ramps and stuff.
No, there's really strong units in the last wave.
Put up a valiant fight.
I tried. I got way further than I thought. So.
Yeah. So I don't blame you, Steve, if you don't want to sit through this. You can resign from the menu. If you're feeling defeated.
No, we'll let the people. Oh, there we go. It's over.
There we go.
All right.
So that's it.
That's it. That's the Horde mode there.
So that was the easiest mode. So I guess the game is pretty hard. No too in the Steam chat has a pretty good observation there that the villagers are really useful in Horde mode. Which they're useful in multiplayer as well, but they're like it kind of shines a bit more in Horde mode, I think.
Yeah, sure. So that was nearly 40 minutes worth of game just there. Like, how do you guys have a sort of typical round length for a multiplayer match in mind, or is it kind of how does that work for you guys? Can you just play this game for like 5 hours in a sitting if that's how it pans out, or is there sort of like a limit?
There's no limit, but I think most games would end within at least 30-45 minutes. I think the average would be like 20, 25. Not 100% sure, but I think it's around there.
I think that's good to know, because I definitely have those. Civ is like a weekend commitment when you're playing that with friends. Like, I know it's a very different game to this, but working out where this fits into your life with your friendship groups, a good thing to know. So I think we're gonna play some multiplayer, right? And you're gonna school me.
I'll be on your team and help you out, and then André will be on the other side.
Sounds good. All right, let's. Oh, you got the game ready to go?
Yeah, there it is.
Look at this ping here.
Play again.
I'm gonna say that's why I lose. It's because of the ping, right?
Yep. We'll accept that.
It will be the same for both. It runs as fast as the slowest player.
Oh, right. Gotcha. That's really cool.
Most RTS games are designed like that. It's an algorithm that most RTS games use to make sure you can have like hundreds of units without the internet going down.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
But we can still go in
Actually,
the ping.
only commands are sent over network. That's it.
Hmm. So
Okay.
that
It's
means
very internet friendly.
yeah. So Steve, here I'm gonna give you some advice. So that's your scout. You can send him up and scout a little bit on Andre's side there if you want, but take all your 4 villagers and send them straight to the town center and get that going as soon as possible. You want to complete that pretty fast.
Gotcha.
And then once that's done, you get one of them and create a clay pit pretty close to the town center. They will all automatically go for berries, or sorry, not berries, but pomegranates afterwards. So yeah, it's that one on there. That's good. And on the clay pit there.
Yeah, come on, mate. There we go.
And then you got a new one just south of the village center there, and he's probably good to build a little house.
Can I
Sweet.
Can I just get someone in who's watching the stream right now? Is the audio coming through alright for you? Because I have a bit of weird artifacting on my end.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Not
Anyway,
from the game or from the stream?
No, I think it's something to do with the stream connection. It was literally fine until we just started this multiplayer match. So. Okay, so building a house. Should I build another?
I'm getting word that audio is good.
Okay.
We'll see
Good,
if that changes.
you.
Leave the houses for now. You got 3 people there. Just get them to cut down a tree.
Okay. Tree cutting time.
Yeah. And your scout up there, he's herding, hurting more than herding animals for you there. But you can send him out to scout around your area. And let's see, you could probably put one more on food. So I should also be saying that I'm not a great RTS player either, which is embarrassing because I'm working on the game for so long. But I notice here that you've got 3 units now idling, loitering.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So might be a good time for you to see if you can afford a granary.
Yep.
So that's that one. Yeah, put that over to the right there, a bit further on the other side of the somewhere over here. And then the units you send to build that, they will automatically go pick pomegranates afterwards as well. Oh, so here's André stirring stuff up in your town center there. He's that blue guy running around.
Oh, here we go.
So he's just seeing how you're doing.
Yeah, just checking me out.
Yeah. It's not good.
Hello.
You can.
He's already built one of these resource centers. Here we go.
Yes. You can hit enter and tell him to F off in the chat if you want. So he's already doing stuff.
Come on. I was just walking around. Don't be mean.
Don't worry about him. Just focus on yourself. This is what he does when you play against André. He gets in your stuff and starts annoying you. So I think it's time for you to start building some farms.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
I think build like 3 farms. Put them right in the green area. They are close to your village centers, or that one. Yeah, perfect. And so surround that one with another 3 farms there.
Yeah.
And then you'll be set for a little bit. And you can see that little green circle around the thing when you're placing it. That's like full. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, you're getting the most out of your farmland.
Yeah, gotcha. Efficiency, right?
Efficiency, that's the one.
Assign a rally point to wood. How do I do that?
Assign a rally point to wood? Oh yeah, so whenever you... so just click the town center and then like right-click on a tree and they'll start chopping.
Ah, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because that's probably a good idea. And me being a the player that I am, I try to get in early on the upgrades. So I'd send one villager. You got a bunch of ore to the left of your town center there, so I'll send one there to get started on that. But that's kind of up to you. But you do need to think about building another house soon.
Yep. Okay, let's take this one here. We'll build another house.
Yeah. I think this is going all right. I feel like André is going to be showing up to harass you pretty soon.
Yep, I think so too, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I want that.
I don't think so. Sweet. And yeah, you're doing all right. Meanwhile, are you still with us, André? Or have you muted yourself?
I am totally with you.
Advantage. Sweet. In the full release, this is from our Discord community. Will you be able to build more than one village center?
Good question. Probably not village center, but we might add some kind of building that produces villagers as well.
Right. So the reason why you wouldn't want that to be a village center is that you're not going to lose if they destroy it.
Yes.
Or are there? That's cool. And can you so we can distract you as much as possible while you're playing the game?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can you tell us a little bit about what our plans are post-release? Like, are we going to be how are we planning on supporting the game once it's out in early access and past that?
Yeah, so in the early access, we're gonna continue expanding the game. So we have quite a lot up our sleeves on all fronts. I don't know how much we can tell right now, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of pretty big content updates during early access, and we hope to work on this game for a very long time. And also post-release 1.0 out when we're out of early access.
Definitely.
Do you have anything to add there, Anders?
Yeah, I mean, yes, definitely. We want to keep building and expanding the game. Once it's out, we want to keep it interesting for people. We already have a history of doing tournaments. That's mostly community organized, and that's been really cool. It's been fun for us to watch as well. And so we're hoping to be doing more of that, incentivizing the community however we can to put on tournaments. And if you go to our Discord, we already have a Hall of Fame, which is it's it's actually a lot of the same people who keep winning. So
yeah, someone has to give No Note some challenge.
Yes, dethrone No, because it's embarrassing how much No keeps winning. So yeah, that's definitely something else that we will keep working towards, and it's a great way for us to get feedback on the game as well. When people are testing it out and trying it in like a really competitive environment, like a tournament. So that's really valuable for us. Oh, Steve!
I didn't send them over there. I didn't want the big ones.
So you've been kited.
No.
You've been.
No. Leave me alone. I'm just building my friends. We're just hanging out in the forest, doing cool things. I do want to talk about your I do want to talk about your community. Like, it's been pretty strong, I think, from the few conversations we've had about it. Like, have you been surprised how quickly people have attached themselves to the game, or how does it feel to have people be so invested already?
Oh, I think it's great. I'm assuming you do too, André.
Yeah, and some community members have been with us for years now, which is pretty cool. They keep coming back. So that's really special.
it's a big inspiration for us because it is like you know, making games and that, like, it sometimes can feel like you're just like putting stuff out there in the void and you don't really know what's happening to it, and if people are engaged by it at all. And so by having the community there being, you know, giving us feedback and you know, enjoying, telling us that they like the stuff and just playing it, like that's a big inspiration for us as a, you know, as we keep hurtling towards a release.
Yeah, it was part of our early strategy to share it as early as possible to start getting feedback early. There's so much in this game that's come from the community. It's not even funny. It's a very iterative game development process where we will do very small tweaks over a long time and just really trying to fine tune the balance and the pacing, etc.
Mhm.
And we always get some feedback on the things to improve on, and we're not done. So it's been incredibly useful for us. This game would not have been even half as good without the community giving their feedback, and also their positive remarks have been very motivating for us. I think one of the biggest motivations, actually. I think because if no one plays your game, it's I don't know, it's I could make this game for myself, which I wanted to. I always wanted to make an RTS, but I think it's more special to actually see other people enjoy it.
Definitely. It's nice to put something out that people react to.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so cool that, you know, Steam are doing more of these, like, you know, festivals that, you know, small teams. Like, it's almost a cliche at this time, like, we have the best community, but communities really do make things better, right? And especially for a small team like yourselves, like, as you said, you've been working on this for a long time, and then to hear someone who's never seen it before get excited just reminds you that you're on the right track and can really, you know, make those hard times when you're up really late at night working on the game, like, feel worthwhile, you know, give you that boost of energy that you need.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Do you want some more questions from our Discord here? So, André, will we add a map editor?
This is
And
something
maybe
yes, it's something we will eventually do, but I have no idea when at this point, unfortunately.
But that is it's on the cards.
Yeah, we get feedback from a lot of players. This is actually funny because Anders has always been what do you call it, like
a big proponent of map editors.
Yes, and I don't know, it's weird game developer, but I never actually used the map editors much in other RTS games. So I didn't actually see the why do you have a map editor in RTS? But Anders understands the feeling. We get so much feedback on people wanting map editors, so we just have to do it.
Yeah, the whole point is to build your own base up beforehand, give yourself as many elite units as possible, and then build up your enemy's base and then take them on. That's what I used to do in map editors in RTS games when I was younger.
Speaking about the base editing, I remember that being like a core component of your game. You wanted it to be pretty well known that, you know, this game is about building bases. Like, where does that stem from? Is that from sort of some of those older games that you grew up really liking, or do you think that that's something a lot of RTS games are lacking these days?
Yeah, so there's two groups of people we want to cater to, which I am one of those, or I'm part of that group. So I'm kind of a little bit making a game that I want to play as well.
That's what you want to hear from your developers. Like, they're making the game that they want. That's always a good sign. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, and of course listening to others. But yeah, so one is the base building. When I played RTS, I just thought base building, that was the fun part. Just like, you know, gather resources and place buildings and I don't know. It's just something about managing like an empire. Because at some point, you know, the MOBA happened, and some strategy games or RTS games were a bit more like just about controlling units, which has always been the case. But I think at some point during the 2000s or late 2000s, I felt there were not so many like fast-paced RTS games with multiplayer that still really put a focus on the base building. So I really wanted to make a game with base building. And another thing is, and that's kind of what the Horde Mode caters to, but doing my research on what RTS players like, a lot of people really like just defending their base and building towers and lots of archers and just, you know, building their base and then defending it. Kind of like the scenario Anders described with map editors back in the day. So we kind of wanted to cater a little bit to that as well.
Yeah, awesome. That's great.
I think this would be a good opportunity for you, Steve, here to maybe make some new units, some military units here. And maybe take some people off of wood cutting, because you've got so much wood, and get like 3 people on clay, and then more farms, I think. You could even consider building a tower here. We haven't shown that yet.
Okay, alright, we'll build one.
So up around your barracks there, yeah, build yourself a tower.
Watchtower, yeah?
Yeah, watchtower. And do a couple of those. And then once that's built, you can then station your archers in there, or even your villagers, depending on what units you have available to you. And slingers and that. So that's really useful. It's a super potent defense. Especially if you go into your tech tree and have a look at your... oh, you've already got that one. That's really good. So another really useful one here now is the wheel.
Nice.
So that's a big one.
Yeah.
And I think give yourself some better archers probably. Hope you've closed your ears, André. You didn't hear any of that.
Legit strats. The
Sweet.
silence
You're doing pretty good.
is frightening. The silence is frightening.
Is. Oh, it's going to be something stupid.
I was just going to mention the technology tree. Viewers might find that it looks different.
They might find that.
So that is still part of the old art. We're just about to finish the UI design for that this week.
Nice.
So
it will look very different.
Yeah, actually, the UI for the tech tree is beautiful. It's really, really nice. And there's a lot of work that's gone into it as well. Time for you to build some more houses, maybe like 2 or 3, and then get some more archers, or whatever you feel like. And then might be good once these people are done building the houses to send them on to build, like you see in between those 3 there, they're building houses. Build a resource camp in the middle, and then get on the rocks there, the ore. Yeah, like that's good. And yeah, you got those 3 idling there too that can help out. And then once they've built the resource camp, they will automatically go and start mining.
Gotcha. Yep, gotcha. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Andre's base is so close though. And if you need to extract people from the watchtowers as well, you can place a rally point. Oh no. Yeah.
What is this? What is this?
That is a ram. So you want to watch out for that one, because it will ruin your buildings. And it'll also ruin your farms if it rolls over your farms. So that's luckily they're not super sturdy. But
his people
here are
are.
some. Yeah, so you see how they got like shiny helmets on? It's not bode well for you, unfortunately. But again, those archers in the watchtowers doing a pretty good job of
Yeah.
not getting killed. Because they're in the watchtower.
I lost connection to the
Hey!
game.
Default!
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think Andre resigned.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
That's actually never happened to me before, ever.
So now you can scroll around and look at his base if you want.
Yeah,
Go
how
see
do
what-
I... It's not letting me... Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got lots of farms. Look at all the resource... Okay, so I need to build more resource camps. But this is the furnace over here, right? Yeah.
Yes, so you built one of those as well. And so once you've mined enough ore,
Yeah.
you will then go in there and start doing stuff.
Workshop.
But yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, congratulations on your victory.
Thanks, I can retire now.
Yeah, well played.
I beat the creator of the game. So stoked.
Yeah, that.
Oh, and I lost 0
That's pretty
units,
good.
so I can't. Mate, I feel so good about this.
Yeah. No, you've haven't you done well?
Yeah, haven't I done well? Awesome. Do we want to finish up with some final Q&A or?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can ask some more questions here. So, speaking of things that will get added, Andre, what do you think about like water and boats?
Yes, that is definitely something we'll add. But yeah, I can't say too much about it again. So the thing is, when we add the features, we have ideas and we always experiment to make sure that they work. So I can't promise how it's gonna work now. I can only say we have some cool ideas, and I hope they work out. And if they do, the boats will work as we want.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking through the questions here. I think we're gonna have hero units, so chiefs and stuff.
No, we're not.
No.
That was a
Probably
very
not.
quick nope.
Yeah.
Very very deliberate. We have made sure there's no abilities with cooldowns because and this might sound strange because Warcraft 3 is my all-time favorite RTS game. But it's a deliberate decision because when you have cooldowns, it's a very different game, almost like an RPG, and you have to keep track of each unit's cooldown, and we don't want players to focus on that.
Fair enough. So that's for the spin-off MOBA version of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What other modes will be available in multiplayer? That's a good question, Andre.
Oh, what modes?
What other modes? Yeah.
I don't know. What other modes on this?
I mean, all of them. It would be cool. We can't promise this, but it would be cool to look into some sort of co-op mode. Can I say that? That we've been at least talking about it and hoping that we can make it work.
Well, that's
But-
Yeah. As an absolute minimum, we should be able to play like a team game against computer AI and stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I mean, that's part of the early access journey, right? Is you guys will have a community even bigger than you have now to road test some of these features that maybe make it in and don't make it into that version 1.0.
Yeah, exactly. And so we will throughout all of our early access, we will be responding to and listening to what people are saying and asking for and demanding if it gets that excited about it. I think one thing also, because we're coming up on an hour now, we probably should
bounce off.
call it. But one thing that we just want to call attention to too, because if you've been watching this stream from the very beginning, in which case, thank you. for sticking around. There's a tutorial here, so it's pretty. The game has a lot of concepts that are not common for, or has some concepts that are not common for RTS games. So this tutorial is for just to get started. So
I
see
would have
here.
loved to know that was there.
I mean, it was there on the main menu, but
yeah. I got the super deluxe version of the tutorial, so.
Well, the tutorial is actually very similar to this because it is fully voiced.
Uh-huh.
By Anders.
Yeah, I keep
Nice.
talking. I will be whispering in your ear through the whole tutorial. And so it hopefully helps people getting set up and kind of grasp all the basic concepts of the game. So, if you did feel intimidated by all the yelling we did at Steve earlier, don't worry about it. It's all there, and it's much calmer in the tutorial.
Well,
Sweet.
I think that's a wrap. I want to thank the boys at Wheeled Interactive for letting me do this stream. Thank you so much for inviting me to share your game with the people here on Steam at the Next Fest. And
You wanted no one else.
Congrats to getting the game to this point. Like, you guys have put in so much work to reach this big milestone of heading into early access, and I'm proud of you guys. And yeah, it's really awesome to see. So thanks for making the game.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
No worries. Do you have anything else you'd like to sign off with?
Hope everyone likes the game. The demo is out on the Steam page now, and also go wishlist it. Definitely. So that you're reminded that the game comes out in a month and 4 days.
A month and 4 days. We're not counting down the days at all, are we, team?
Not at all. Cool.
Yeah, seriously, go wishlist it, everyone. It really does help creators, especially when they're promoting the game and knowing how many people are interested. And as Anders said, reminding you that it is coming out in 1 month and 4 days, and you can pick it up and be part of this amazing early access journey. Anyway, I think that's a wrap. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time for another game stream, I guess.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Steve.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you very much, Steve. Thank you.
See you later.